think we all dreamt about going to space when we were kids. But when the space shuttle program ended in 2011, I discovered a void in my life. That emptiness led to a newfound obsession with space. A few years later, I wound up bidding on a Russian spacesuit as a joke. When the box arrived at my doorstep, my friends asked, "What are you going to do with a spacesuit?" The answer? What can't I do with a spacesuit? And that's how Everyday Astronaut was born. Since then, the suit hasn't left my side. It's even gone around the world with me. From remote villages in Myanmar, rockets, and spaceships. To beautiful fields in Norway.
I'm fighting a cow to get a picture right now.
Here I am on vacation in the beautiful Norway with my beautiful boyfriend.
I even proposed to my wife in the suit at Machu Picchu in Peru. These days I work with leaders in the space industry to create fun and inspirational content. I've even been invited to different NASA facilities across the country, all for the sake of sharing my excitement with the world.
Hey there, it's me, Tim Dodd, the Everyday Astronaut. Now, I'm not sure if you're aware, but NASA is doing some incredible... This is church for us space nerds. This is where Gene Kranz was sitting when people first met him. This is with permission. I still don't know how. I love that I'm standing on something that says urine bags. This thing's gonna fly like a cat in heat. Whatever that means. That dog's gonna have a sore throat by the end of the day, I'll tell you that. Especially once he tries to explain to his friends that he just saw an astronaut flying majestically through the sky for an hour. This thing has officially become the bane of my existence.
Everyday Astronaut's mission is to bring space down to Earth for everyday people, to communicate science through humor and imagination, but most importantly, to spark your curiosity, to want to find your place in the cosmos. Join my adventures as I seek to find out why exploring space is important, inspiring, and quite frankly, really, really neat. Show your support by visiting patreon.com/everydayastronaut. Hey patrons, how are you guys? And happy Friday, happy almost weekend. I'm really excited to be home. For those of you that don't know, I was in California for like a solid week. I spoke at Northrop Grumman like a week and a half ago now, or just over a week. And then I spent the rest of the week in a Tesla Model 3, which was freaking awesome, driving around California doing some footage about, you know, why the Tesla doesn't melt in space and kind of some of those putting a little kibosh on those conspiracy theories about, you know, it can't survive the vacuum of space and the tires would pop and all this stuff. So I am editing that video now. There's going to have to be a lot of filler because I didn't really script this. I just tried to research it and then talk openly about it, which was probably a mistake. But hi, guys. And so we have some new people. First off, hi, Jan in Discord. Welcome. And to the rest of you guys, I'll talk about... We have a lot of stuff to talk about if you want. But for those of you who don't know, I feel like I need to just premise this. What we're doing right now, we're going to be watching episode 3 of Spacing Out. And for those of you that don't know what Spacing Out is, so for over a year, I've been working on a proper TV show. And last November, my co-producer and I, actually the development producer technically, and now the executive producer, and I'm a co-executive producer, we worked on a development of a TV series featuring Everyday Astronaut. He shopped it around for about 3 months and ended up selling it to Facebook for Facebook Watch. So Facebook Watch is Facebook's original content. It's not much different than, you know, Hulu or, you know, Hulu, Netflix, YouTube Red, stuff like that. So it is original content. So it had a fairly large production budget. It is very different than what I do here in my home. It was a full team. This is the same people that did like Modern Marvels on History Channel, and they do like Hashtag Murder and Snapped and a bunch of other just random shows. I can't even list them all. And we are on the 3rd episode now, but it is free to watch. And I know people have been kind of like, why did you put it on Facebook? How dare you not put it on YouTube and stuff? This was a different thing than YouTube. This is 100% different. There's a lot more moving parts involved in this production than anything I do here on my own. And I'm still here catering to you guys. This is what I actually like to do best, to be honest. The other thing, I really worked on that last year because I wasn't sure if I was going to make a dime on YouTube. When I first started talking to Josh, it was February of last year, February 2017. I had literally zero income. I had stopped doing photography. And I was committing full-time to creating content, but there wasn't anyone really watching yet, and I hadn't really found my platform. That's now different thanks to Patreon supporters, and thanks to getting enough watch time and viewership on the YouTube channel. It's enough to supplement income now, and I feel good about what I'm doing. I no longer feel like I'm going to be starving. At least, you know, we're doing pretty good, and it's all thanks to you guys. It's all thanks to the community and everyone's support. But that being said, I still was really nervous that there's no way I'm going to make money and actually have a career unless I like get a TV show or something like that. So that was this first attempt, and so that's what spacing out is. Yeah, is everything working okay for you guys? It got really quiet. Maybe it's because I'm talking about all this stuff too much. Let me know. So yeah, so that's what spacing out is. And to me, it was a lot of fun, and it is a lot of fun, but it's super different. It's a lot more entertainment oriented instead of necessarily hard facts and the really nitty gritty stuff that I really like to get into. You guys know that I just love digging down as deep as I can into the weeds here. But this is definitely more approachable and especially extra kid friendly. I've been showing this. I showed it to a Lego club here in my hometown, and the kids loved it. You know, they're between 4th and 6th grade, and they just absolutely were enamored. And to me, that's like, yes, this is currently residing on Facebook, but its exclusivity won't always be on Facebook. So we would love to someday package it. Or jigger it or whatever and get it in front of a lot of kids. Because to me, I just feel like it's really good educational content that's fun and entertaining. So, yeah. Pam Polek asks, so I stopped my photographer career before Patreons. I didn't even have a Patreon account when I actually stopped shooting weddings. Because I had to stop shooting weddings about a year ahead of like stopping shooting weddings, you know, because people book a wedding a year out. So I actually had to make the decision to stop shooting weddings in like summer 2016, and I still had 2 weddings on the books in 2017 because I had booked them earlier in 2016. And when I just made that decision, and I don't think I started Patreon until like December or November or something of 2017 or 16. Sorry. So when I kind of made that decision to go full-time with Everyday Astronaut, I had no idea how I was going to financially make it happen. Or if I could. I really thought, I kind of committed the 2017 year to making, to be doing Everyday Astronaut full-time. And I didn't know what that would look like, didn't know what that would be. So that's what I did. And it was just, yeah, it was terrifying. Yeah. That's what it was like. It was a big jump. It was a big, scary leap. And it wasn't, honestly, until about September of 2017 that I really felt confident, September, October, that I actually felt like, you know, this might work. It took a solid 9 months of tinkering and playing around and finding what format people are latching onto and finding content that people seem to resonate with. So, come to find out, you guys love the really deep rundowns, which is great because I do too. And I no longer, as you know now, I'm almost no longer at all limiting myself to length. I used to be like, oh, this has to be under 10 minutes. No one will watch a YouTube video if it's more than 10 minutes long. And then I started giving myself a little more freedom, like, I'll just try a little longer one. And it worked great, and people liked it. And now I realize, like, I can't even get the video set up in under 10 minutes because I feel like I always want to apply context. I want to assume that someone's watching the video for the very first time, and that might be a little patronizing to my people, to the people, to you people that are familiar with this stuff. But I think it's important that when we talk about something like the rocket equation in the SSTO's video, that I actually apply context leading up so people can watch it from minute 1, have no context, and still understand the concept by the end of the video. I think that's really important. It takes more time, it takes more effort, it takes, you know, all that stuff. But to me, I think that's the difference between a 3-minute long YouTube video that's just like the headlines and someone that dives in deep. And to me, like when I was trying to research SSTOs, and when I'm trying to research aerospikes now for an upcoming video eventually, the videos are like 3 minutes long. I'm like, you're not going to teach me everything I need to know in 3 minutes. Like, I'm not even going to watch this. I can't learn everything I need to know in 3 minutes. I need an hour-long documentary, and maybe I'll try and take that hour-long documentary and crunch it down to 20 minutes. Maybe. But, yeah. Yeah, a lot of people have had, yes, Sloppy Top, I do have different colored eyes. People are just now noticing, which is funny. I don't know if my lighting changed or something, but yeah, I'm heterochromatic. And yeah, so people have responded really well to the longer videos, which I'm excited about because I have a lot of fun with those. So, all right, just try to keep it under 10 hours. I did fix the Saturn V. It's good enough now. We signed with Facebook in November of 2017. So between signing and then like getting the showrunner, getting all the production schedule set up and stuff, we didn't start shooting until March. But we really didn't have. I don't think we had. We had an agreement in November. I don't think we signed until like January. It took a long time. Yeah. All right. Well, are you guys 30 minutes plus? Says Tommy. I don't know about that. That's getting pretty long even for me. All right, do you guys want to watch this episode? We can do that, and then you guys can ask questions. This is going to stay unlisted because I can't actually, I can't have it out there on YouTube because it is Facebook's content. It is their actual, their property basically. I'll get a vote from you guys. Do you want me to make my head teeny tiny in this thing? Even smaller? Do you want my head in there at all? Do you want me to talk in the middle of this and like laugh if it's funny? Or like, do you want me to remain silent? Do you want me to pause it? Tell me what you guys want for your viewing experience for this watch party. I've never really done one of these. We can do it for the next two too. Small head, very small head, or just small head? Pause and comment. Okay. I'm going to go even smaller just for this. Little thumbnail Tim. Head off even. Okay, I'll just make it small. Very small. Okay, okay. I'm hearing you guys. I'll put it down on the bottom right. That way I feel like at least I'll kind of be looking at the video. Wow, it's so pretty. Okay. Got it. All right, well, let's start this episode. Let me know if sound's okay and everything. It should be okay, but let's give it a try. Here we go. Episode 3 of Spacing Out. By the way, if you want to watch this for free, guys, you can do it. You don't even have to be a Facebook member. You just go to facebook.com/spacingouteverydayastronaut, and that's in the link, the description below. I know that not everyone's on Facebook. I'm fully aware of that. So if you want... oh, there's a watermark in the way. All right. I will put it here. Yeah. Do what I want. Yeah, I'll pause it if there's something extra funny, or extra like comment worthy. But yeah, all right, let's give this a go. You guys ready? Here we go.
Spacecraft are some of the lightest and precisely manufactured items in...
We're starting over.
Spacecraft are some of the lightest and most precisely manufactured items in the world. As a matter of fact, the lunar module had parts that were so thin, you could punch a hole through sections of it with your finger. This is an accurate replica of the Apollo spacecraft, complete with a command module, service module, and lunar excursion module. Or at least it will be when I'm done. So how on earth does something this fragile and lightweight survive this? Okay, forget all the awesomeness coming out of the Saturn V's F1 rocket engines. I'm talking about surviving the sound. How do spacecraft survive the powerful and destructive sound waves
from rocket launches.
And liftoff.
Today, we find... Fun fact here, I was at that launch. My camera... Here, let's see if I can easily scrub back. This was EFT1. My camera is literally like right up in here, and I had one of the few cameras that didn't get knocked over this close to the rocket. It was crazy. The editor did know about sound. A lot of that stuff is just kind of inside jokey. T-Scana USA. Toscana. All right, back to it.
And liftoff.
Today, we find out. We're going to experience a real live rocket launch to feel just how loud rockets are. Meet someone at Kennedy Space Center who knows the science of sound suppression. Feel firsthand the power of sound.
I didn't know Limp Bizkit could ever make me that uncomfortable.
And then, we're going to build our own garage-engineered sound suppression system. Think it'll work? Of course it'll work. Ever since I was little, I've been obsessed with space. I'm Tim Dodd, but most people know me as the Everyday Astronaut. A couple years ago, I bought a spacesuit just for fun. I had no idea where that would take me. Now, I'm on a mission to get everyone to nerd out on space. Any questions? So far, I feel like it's pretty question-free. We don't. Yes, this episode is featuring Amy Shearer title. She's in 2 episodes. She's in this one and the next one. So yeah, let's keep going. And also, that's really cool about the acoustic chamber in Netherlands. Yes, those places are awesome. All right, let's keep going. This is what most people, including our editor, imagine spacecraft sound like, floating around in outer space. But the reality is, did you know rocket engines are so powerful that the sound waves they generate could seriously injure you if you get too close to a launch? The sound generated by a rocket launch could even damage the spacecraft itself. It's hard to truly appreciate how loud rockets are unless you get to experience a launch firsthand.
I'm in Cape Canaveral, Florida at Space Launch Complex 40. They recently spent $50 million investing in an upgrade to this launch pad, with a lot of that going into sound suppression system, which is a good thing because this Falcon 9 is about to take off in T-minus... I better get out of here.
Liftoff of the SpaceX Falcon 9
yes,
rocket,
there it is!
adding to the International
Woo!
Space Station.
Yeah! Go, baby! Get ready for the sound now. It takes a little bit of time, but here it comes.
Vehicle supersonic.
Yeah, baby, you feel that in your chest. I can even feel it in my binoculars.
it definitely doesn't shake the camera in real life. This was CRS, what was that, 14 or 15? The one in like April 1st or April 2nd. I think CRS 15. I have like lost track already.
Gets me every time.
To help us understand what NASA's sound suppression system is, I meet up with Stephen C. Smith. We decided to check out the biggest and loudest rocket ever made.
So, Stephen, obviously the Saturn V is huge. It must have made an awful loud sound.
It was pretty loud. They say that the noise was so loud, the ground would actually shake.
Fun fact, the Saturn V rocket launch is one of the loudest sounds ever recorded. In the number 2 slot, sperm whale echolocation.
That's one of the many reasons why they kept people about 3.5 miles away.
You haven't experienced the Saturn V, but You have been here for shuttle days, is that correct?
Yeah, I was able to experience some of the last shuttle launches.
Wow.
Decibel level for the shuttle, probably somewhere in the 140s. We kept the noise down because we had a system called sound suppression. And so what we would do is flood the pads with water.
Now, real quick, Philip asks, was it easier to get filming permissions for a TV show or as a member of the press? Definitely member of the press. We didn't get anywhere near the access we wanted with NASA. All we got was some access at Kennedy Space Center or Visitors Complex. The pad access was through SpaceX, which is, to me, like, really upsetting that NASA wouldn't heed our production request. We wanted to go out to 39B and check out their sound suppression system. Yeah, they were being really stupid about it. One person, actually, Kennedy Space Center was super about it. Like, yeah, come out, film. But then there's one person up top at NASA that just said, no, we can't do that. So, whoops. I guess we couldn't show off SLS and 39B. Yeah, thanks.
Maybe you've never noticed the large, nondescript tanks surrounding launch pads. They store hundreds of thousands of gallons of water. NASA developed a system that uses water, a lot of it, to flood their launch pads. When a sound wave generated by the rocket's powerful engine slams against the water molecules, those water molecules vibrate, absorbing the kinetic energy from the sound wave.
And this is the famous molecule HO2, not H2O. Apparently the animator didn't quite understand chemistry and I didn't catch it in the edit. I have very little to do. Actually, I didn't even see this until it was final, until it was like all cut and done. So, whoops.
The vibrating water molecules convert that energy into heat, suppressing the force of the sound wave. Who knew water was just as important as rocket fuel to get rockets into space? At some point, your parents probably told you have to turn your music down or else you're going to damage your eardrums. But just how damaging can sound waves actually be? I'm at the Sound Factory in Knoxville with a bunch of bass heads to find out. With me is spaceflight historian Amy Shira Teitel. Amy has helped bring together a group of guys with beat-up vans. Okay, I'm not quite sure what we're going to do here.
And just so you know, Amy's probably about 4'10". I'm not even 6 foot. I'm 5'11". So let me do this. 145 centimeters is how tall Amy is-ish, and I'm about 180 centimeters. So she's quite a bit shorter. She's very short.
Sound waves are a physical wave, so that means they can damage things, not just your hearing, but your organs, buildings.
Amy's brought me here to physically experience sound.
Rocket launches tend to have sound waves on the lower frequency. So if we get a lot of bass out of these cars, we're gonna get some of the same frequencies that you'll get with a rocket launch.
All right, Amy's going to try and blow my mind, and maybe my eardrums, with some bass.
Oh yeah, someone asked earlier, she has that t-shirt actually, and she brought it with her, which was very nice of her to do that. I'm glad she represented Everyday Astronaut.
But there's no way these cars are as loud as rockets.
We're gonna go from about 140 decibels all the way up to 160 decibels.
Okay, so just for reference, I'm pretty sure NASA required under 145 decibels inside the payload bay of the space shuttle.
Yep.
So we're gonna be louder than that. These cars may not look like much, but their sound systems are out of this world. This is Charles Haley, one of the bass heads at the garage. His system goes all the way up to 11.
What we got here is two 15-inch subwoofers. And so for power, what we've got under here, I've got 3 Group 31 batteries.
And now how loud does this system get?
With the meter at the headrest, it does 151, 152.
Again, that's above NASA's sound safety regulations for being inside the payload of their spacecraft. And louder than being on the deck of an active aircraft carrier.
Isn't that kind of crazy, actually? That if you were inside the payload fairing, like the payload bay of a space shuttle, during launch, it would be quieter than inside these cars. I still can't imagine that. That's... I feel like there's no way. I don't know. That's insane. I feel like that would be way louder. But That's what they say.
Do you get nervous then about the car like blowing up?
I intentionally kept it down like that.
So you kept it down.
Of all the vehicles that you're going to experience today, this one's going to be the quietest.
Now, going louder than 152 decibels may not sound so crazy to you, but that may be because you're not familiar with the decibel scale. On the low end of the scale is the human whisper, which sits at 20 decibels. Front row at a rock concert is roughly 110 decibels loud. Our threshold of pain is at 130 decibels. So going louder than 152 decibels, I'm actually concerned. Well, my producer totally ignored my concerns, so here we are, inside the loudest car Amy could find. This is Randy. He rolls around in what's basically a giant speaker on wheels. So we got 4, how big are these?
18s.
4 18-inch subwoofers. And how loud will this go?
So far it does a 156. It will have an effect on your whole entire body. You can get disoriented.
Can someone get us some earmuffs?
Earmuffs?
I don't. Aw, my producer does care about me.
You guys ready?
No turning back now.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, someone says, you're nuts, Andy. You're nuts unless you have ear defenders, mate. 100% agreed. We actually had earplugs. Amy and I both did earplugs inside and ear muffs because we were both like, I'm not gonna risk it. Not worth it. Oh yeah, Amy, and Andre. I always forget how to say your name. Andre with an I at the end. No, Amy did not know these people at all. Obviously, yeah, it is all staged. This was shot in Knoxville, Tennessee, which is where the production company's from. Amy flew in from, she lives out in LA, basically. So, actually, Pasadena. Yeah, so it's all staged, yeah. She didn't really know them at all, but she did actually spend time in the garage without me there, so there was some genuine reactions and stuff to, like, what I was experiencing, at least. I guess they didn't think I could act.
Okay, this is insane. The sound waves from Randy's giant speakers are shaking the snot out of everything. The sound being generated by these speakers is pushing the air molecules hard enough to do this to Amy's hair. After just a few seconds, Amy and I tap out. That note hit my
teeth hurt.
I always knew Limp Bizkit could make me uncomfortable, but I didn't know Limp Bizkit could ever make me that uncomfortable.
I'm officially tapping out.
I can feel it in my neck.
Philip James asked, did I need to poop? Yeah, actually, honestly, I'm not kidding. Like, our insides both felt like upside down. We had to, like, sit outside. Because we actually did this for, like, altogether probably 3 or 4 minutes. And by the end of it, yeah, we both were not, we had to take a break and, like, sit down and drink a ton of water. We felt pretty disoriented. It was actually not pleasant. It was weird.
My whole body has a newfound appreciation for sound. Which brings us back to the point of all this. We were talking about the science of sound suppression. So, Amy and I have built our own NASA-style water deluge system. We couldn't quite fit a NASA pump house into this garage, but we got the next best thing. A metal stand, some PVC, and a garden hose. Garage engineering at its finest. We've set up a sound meter just in front of our everyday sound suppression system. This baby will generate a wall of water, which should absorb some of the sound waves generated by the souped-up sound system.
If we have a curtain of water falling between the source of sound and that sensor, we'll actually see the decibels get lower.
These guys don't seem to have too much faith in our sound suppression system. They'll see. We're gonna do a dry run quick, see what our reading is, and then turn on the water and see if we see a change. I think that's the best way to do it.
It's the scientific way.
It's the scientific way, exactly.
All right.
All right, hit it. $118.
118.3.
Now that we have our baseline, it's time to test our everyday ingenuity. Fingers crossed this works. All right, Wes, hit it.
So it was a little bit less.
0.6.
0.6 less.
That's a
That's
change.
something.
I'll take it. All 0.6 of 1 decibel. Listen, it might not be anywhere near NASA numbers, but considering the scale, this was a huge success. Clearly, these guys are all blown away. So our experiment was imperfect, but the fundamentals are still the same. Number 1, sound is destructive, uncomfortable, and a lot of fun. Number 2, water can actually absorb sound out of the air, which is just incredible. And number 3, learn that bass heads are insane. Well, that's gonna do it for me. I'm Tim Dodd, the Everyday Astronaut, bringing space down to Earth for everyday people.
There you go, guys.
For more out-of-this-world content, be sure and follow us on Facebook Watch.
Yay! There's the thing. Here, just people, let's see. Philip or somebody was asking, or yeah, T-Scan was asking which mic. It should sound a little different. I was using this microphone, which I just turned on now, which will take a second to fire up. Maybe not. Maybe so. There we go. Let me hear. So I was using this mic, which I don't know if you guys can hear that very well, compared to the other one. But this one, I think, sounds quite a bit warmer than the Sennheiser boom mic. It's actually properly has a pop filter and things, and also has a little bit of whatever this is called, sound deadeningness. So this is an MA200 Mojave tube microphone. Handmade in California. So the production company was quite lucky that I have like professional grade audio equipment in my house so that we could just like make changes. It'd be like, oh, 8 o'clock at night. Hey, Tim, can you read 2 lines for me real quick so we can finish this edit? And I'd go, sure. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Yeah, this does sound quite a bit different, doesn't it? Probably. Yeah. Yeah, I would love to use this mic for my YouTube videos, but yeah, unfortunately, you gotta have a fairly close proximity to actually make it sound good. Love the patio heater design ethic or satellite dish ethic. Yeah, it's real life, just this, and then this is a little like thing around it to make sure you don't pick up too much room ambiance. Yeah. Yeah, for those of you wondering, that's what I use. So yeah, so then I would just do voiceover here at home instead of having to go back to wherever. I would do this for live streams, but I just feel like I'm looking the wrong way, and I don't want to like have it over here and cover up my mouth and all that stuff. Any other questions, guys? Really, which drum mic do you use? I like drum mics because they normally have a really high SBL handling. Like you can't get them to peak out very well normally, since they normally sit an inch off a snare drum or something. Oh, T-Scan, I'll tell you what I wanted to do different for this episode. So production schedule wise, we only had, do you want me to, is this mic okay? Should I just keep it like this? So yeah, what would I have done differently? I tried really hard to make it so we put that water suppression system right outside the window of one of those cars, so that because those are way louder. The sound you saw coming in that were on these little like hot Power Wheels cars things, and they didn't want to, production team didn't want to mess with it and stuff. And unfortunately, it's so weird. You know, we only had one day. Couldn't I just have a waterfall behind it for noise suppression? Yes, I could, Bjorn. But you know, unfortunately, when you have a crew and lining up, so this, you know, we had to bring like 20 people into the garage and their cars, so we just couldn't schedule them for 2 days, you know. A production schedule like that, you only get 1 day. So by the time you set up and have all the grip trucks and all that stuff there and all the people and personnel involved, it takes quite a bit of time to really get going. So you have to do it in 1 day. So we were near the end of, like, we were already over time when we started shooting that experiment, you know, at the end. I wanted it to be way more scientific, way more, like, substantial. And I really wanted I wanted, like, an inch of water falling and a big, thick curtain, you know, and actually see if we would really absorb some sound. Ideally, I wanted to see the sound waves, you know, moving the water molecules. Didn't happen, but we tried. A lot of our experiments flopped. I think, had we done this differently, I think almost every day would have been 2 shoots. Every experiment would have been two shooting days. 1 day to kind of set it up, and then the next day to actually execute. Or a bigger crew. We actually had too small of a crew for what we were trying to do ambition-wise. My showrunner basically said, I would have definitely changed the O2H molecules. That's one thing I would have done different. But my my showrunner was like, this is the smallest crew with the most ambitious timeline I've ever worked on. Hey, there you go. That's a good-looking acoustic shield, Philip. That's sweet. Yeah, Pure Rap, we did try a bunch of the different cars, and basically, like, Amy and I were in 2 of them. One of the cars didn't work. Another car, yeah, we just tried them all. Bremda, I agree. I wish the show was longer, 15 or 20 minutes. Facebook wanted it more, 10 to 12. Yeah, the good thing is, I think once this footage is, like, done with Facebook exclusivity, I think we can reshop it, we could recut it, we could re-edit it, we could resell it, repackage it to someone else, which I would be a big fan of. I would love to see this on, personally, I would love to see this on a different platform, since Facebook Watch isn't huge. Andy, no, I was actually there at Plumbrook for their acoustic resonance chamber, not Renaissance chamber. Yeah, that was in 2016. I went and visited Plumbrook Station, and I also vacuumed in their vacuum chamber. No Photoshop involved there, but you can't. Those nitrogen horns only blast a single frequency, whatever they're tuned to, so you can't actually, like, play music through them. It's just certain frequencies. Yeah. Yeah, we would love to see it on Discovery or Science or Netflix, but maybe, yeah. I don't know. Yeah, Paul Jr., they actually tried experimenting with it a little bit. There's always just so many things. Yeah, I would love for this to someday live on somewhere else. But yeah, and this is good for me, at least with Facebook. Like, they paid for the production, so now we have that in our repertoire. We can use that to recut and try to resell something very similar somewhere else. It's definitely like almost like an extended pilot, which is nice. Yeah. I'll tell you why. And Andre, am I saying that right, Andre? I'll tell you why. The question is, I wonder why Facebook wanted such short episodes. They should have more data on this. They have no idea what they're doing. Period. I think right now they have bigger things to worry about, and the Facebook Watch thing has been so, like, no one knows what they're doing. No one knows anything. No one knows. Yeah. Economics with Facebook, basically they gave us a flat rate, then the production company took that bid basically and produced it, and anything overhead the production company has to head to front. Yeah, I can't really get into the details about the deal, I don't think. Actually, contractually, I'm not supposed to talk about that, actually. Yeah, they have no idea at all, unfortunately, which has been frustrating for us because, we'll be like, hey, can we do this at the end of each episode? They're like, meh, I don't know. How many people are we going to do this? I don't know. Can you guys push this internally or give us credits for promotions? I don't know. Like, literally, everything comes back with, I don't know. I guarantee Facebook's losing money on this. Guarantee it. There's no way with the viewership. Well, the way Facebook Watch is very TV oriented. It's produced. It's not. They're not thinking YouTube channel. They're thinking TV. You know, TV channel. I will get an IMDb credit. Yeah, which is great. I'm excited about that. I think that'll help with legitimacy. Sean, hi. I'm sorry. I'll keep this video in archive so you'll be able to rewatch it, but it will not be listed publicly because it is Facebook's content. So I will make sure you have the links to watch the whole thing. So Facebook didn't sponsor. This is Facebook's content, actually. So it's Facebook Watch, which Facebook Watch is original programming, just like Netflix, Hulu, HBO, YouTube Red. Whenever they produce something, so they pay for it. Then a production company shoots it and, you know, hands the keys over and says, here you go, here's your show. The show that you bought. Yeah, so they just don't really have any idea. I don't know if on YouTube, if you skip an ad, if it affects my monetization. I don't think so, actually. Yeah. I'm not entirely sure. And then we did have a little bit about SpaceX in it, yeah. And you can watch it for free on Facebook. The link's below, facebook.com/spacingoutEverydayAstronaut. If you want to watch there. If you do have Facebook, I am fully aware that not everyone has Facebook, and you want to share it, that really does help. At least maybe see if we can get a season 2 or at least, and not necessarily season 2 with Facebook, but if we show that it did well on Facebook, it would be a lot more you know, appealing to like a network. So we're trying to do the best to make people actually watch it on Facebook. The other episodes have like 150,000 and 100,000 views, which is okay. We were hoping closer. I personally was hoping for closer to 1 million on each episode. So we'll see. Maybe once it lives on there for a little bit. Yeah. Philip James, did I do some fun legal stuff to keep my Everyday Astronaut name separate? Not really. I have a lawyer who just made sure that like the language has nothing but exclusivity, and we grant them the rights to use Everyday Astronaut for the show, but they don't have any perpetuity for like merchandise or anything like that. So I didn't have to deal with any of that. Luckily, that was my lawyer, who I had never had an entertainment lawyer before this show. Mark Zuckerberg and old Elon have a history. Oh yeah. Yeah, what was there anything more than the fact that I thought that Elon thinks Facebook's lame? Was there anything else that Elon and Zuckerberg had one time? I don't remember. I just remember that one day Elon's like, Facebook's lame. And then he pulled Tesla and Facebook and SpaceX's pages from Facebook. I'll see what you guys say. I will say, guys, I apparently haven't been talking very much because my voice hurts already. Oh, yeah. I guess AMO 6 was kind of a Facebook thing. I don't know if that counts. AMO 6 was somewhat owned by Facebook, so yeah. Yeah, an AI thing, you guys are saying, huh? And what can we do public to help get you there? As far as like sorry Andy, as far as like help me get a season 2 or get an extended cut, I think honestly watching it on Facebook would actually help. I know that is an ask for some people, even if you don't have a Facebook account. If you watch the episodes on Facebook, at least we'll have some metrics to show when we as we try to shop around for a second season. And I want something a lot more involved. I want something even more like science-based and a good mix. This is close. I'm in general pretty happy with this format. I think it's close. I think if each episode was 5 minutes longer, we could really get more into the actual science of things, and have good analogs. You know, have a good starting point, and then like go from there on a lot of the experience. You'll see in the 5th episode, it's like a total flop in that sense scientifically. Same with the first one with the balloons. That was a flop scientifically. We could have done it indoors. That would have been great. Yeah. So we'll see. I think at this point, just watching it helps. Oh, guys, guess what? I have something to show you. I haven't even posted about this yet. I've been too busy. Yeah, Paul, if you could watch it on Facebook or just put it on in the background, that would help. But guess what? Somebody bought a spare helmet on eBay. And it's way nicer condition than mine is. Yeah, I figured I needed a spare in case mine, you know, gets too damaged or cracks or something. You know, this is like now my livelihood and stuff. So now I have a second one. It smells just the same. And the latch actually works properly. So mine, my old one, my original one, that I'll probably still use until... Jeez, I said the latch works and now it's... Look at that. It actually stops. I can't get mine back into the track. I've tried too many times. Oh, this smells so weird. Oh. Oh, a spare neck ring. That's nice. A spare old Russian condom. That's good. There's a beanie that's different than mine too in here somewhere. So yeah, that's fun, isn't it? Yeah, I figured it's time to have a little bit of job security. This is just my insurance policy. I'll share that soon. I don't know why I haven't. Oh, here's that beanie. Look at this beanie's way better than mine. It has pads on the top of it, so if you're wearing it, it helps support the helmet. Mine needs that so bad. Oh, my office is a mess. Yeah. Smells like Mother Russia. Is there a kitty cat? No, it's not the kitty cat. No excuse. No. No. We're not wearing the helmet all the time. Do I have any plans for streaming another launch? Would it be good for non-American rocket soonish? I will be streaming every launch in the future, whenever I can. At least ones that I know enough about. So far, I still don't know enough about Soyuz launches, but maybe it's time I start those, especially when there's people on it. I think that's something I could probably do in the future. Do you guys have any other updates, things you want me to start, implementing in upcoming videos? I do have plans to start a podcast soon, and I plan to do it probably with Uncle Dad or Jacob EQ, where I basically read him the news, and then like space news, and then he'll just ask questions. I don't know if we'll be able to make that happen. He is a very, very, very busy guy. He has like 2 jobs and 4 kids, basically. But he, to me, is the funniest, and I want to do it in person where we can produce content for both YouTube and a podcast. So we'd actually have like a, small set and put a screen up and stuff like that. What's up with a COPV in Block 5? That's a great question. Apparently they didn't fly the new upgraded one yet on the first Block 5, which is crazy. It sounds like they might not fly it until they do their demo 1 of Dragon 2. So then they'd have to fly 7 more or 6 more after that. So that's interesting. Yes, Philip James, that's what I will do. I will film it and it will be simulcasted, produced for YouTube and for a podcast. I definitely think it's time for that. Space gear unboxing, I didn't see that. You guys think I should do Today-ish in spaceflight history even if Jacob is not available? Yeah, that's what I said. They flew with the old COPVs. They could not put the newest COPVs, and they won't until demo 1 of Dragon 2, which is unfortunate. So that means they'll have to fly 6 times after demo 1 before they can put people on it. Yep, that's what I said. Which is, yeah, I mean, it's okay. They'll have plenty of Block 5 flights. They have so many. Yeah, they're still not done tweaking. That's exactly right, Tommy. But, oh well. We got time. No big deal. We'll see them fly. Guys, they're going to fly so many Block 5s still this year that they won't. I don't think they're putting humans on this year. They still have kind of said that, even though I've kind of heard 2019. I definitely would expect like almost spring of 2019. Could you find collabs with other space people in the format of Today-ish in spaceflight history? Perhaps. I'd want it to be in person. It's a lot more fun in person, and I like it not being a space person. I like it being someone that can ask questions. So maybe if I could find another person similar to Jacob's humor. then perhaps I would. Yeah. Yeah. If there's any other questions you guys have, I'm going to head out soon just so I can keep working on this video. I'm cutting together that video and seeing what all I need to shoot additionally for it. Talking about like why the Tesla didn't melt in space and why I drove that Model 3 around for a week. That was awesome. I know, Paul, I really wanted to wear the spacesuit instead of that ugly thing. Trust me, that's all I wanted to do in life. But I had to wear that weird, ugly thingy. It was bad. It was bad. Oh well. Yeah, it'll be a good video. And just so you guys know, I put it in... Where did I put that? Did I put that in announcements? No. Upcoming video. If you guys are on... if you guys are in Discord, some of you on YouTube might not be. You might be... So I'll find you the link of the preview. Here we go. Copy link. Here, I'll just... Hey, I forgot. I can just show you guys. I'll show you a new... One second here. Let me get this pulled up. Alright, and make this thing full screen. I'm going to give you guys this. This is a preview of that new video. Oops.
Oh, hi guys. Welcome to Hawthorne, California, home of SpaceX's headquarters. I figure if we're going to be talking about putting a Tesla into space on top of a SpaceX rocket, what better place to do it than out here in California? So we're going to go on a little road trip up to Vandenberg Air Force Base where SpaceX occasionally launches some rockets. And meanwhile, I'm going to explain why, you know, the paint didn't flake off, the windshield didn't crack, the tires didn't pop, and the plastic didn't melt in the vacuum of space. This is going to be a fun one. Come, join me. A little adventure, a little something different. A little rocket road trip.
First things first.
It was so windy.
Whoa, look, I'm Starman!
There you go. That's your preview for now. Yeah. That's what I'm working on. So, I'm going to keep working on that, guys. And if the wind's too bad and some of that stuff, I'm going to probably try to overdub it, which is really difficult, but I'll try. Yeah, that's going to do it, guys. I think the fancy mic is picking up audio playing out of the computer. Oh, it very well might be. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys. Again, I know we probably need to be doing this stuff more often. I feel like I need to be spending more time exclusively with you Patreon supporters. I feel like I know you guys very well. I talk to you guys like every day. It's crazy. I missed you when I was in California. I went like 4 days with Do Not Disturb on my phone. It was great. No offense. I just needed that like decompression time. I camped. I slept in the Tesla, which was great actually. I just folded the seat down and went completely flat. Put like an 1.5 inch foam pad. Bought a cheap sheet and a blanket and a pillow, which I just threw away later because I spent like $35 cheaper than a hotel. Yeah, it was awesome. I think I needed that. I needed like that recharge time, you know, especially after the production and all that stuff. I was just like overwhelmed. So like people around me, literally like I'd wake up and then go down to the lobby surrounded by people, and then we'd hang out even after the shooting was done. It was kind of my fault. I made everyone go out to dinner and like still socialize because I wanted to like have fun and like. But it definitely wore me out. So then I'd, go to bed, crash, get like 7 hours of sleep, and repeat for like 2.5 weeks. I was not so happy with no Discord. Come on, it wasn't that. I just needed the whole decompression thing. So, yeah, we'll do this more. Because again, guys, this is all thanks to you guys, and it's all thanks to your encouragement. It's all thanks to your support, and this community is the reason why I keep doing this, and it's been amazing. So, yeah, it was my version of wandering off into the wilderness. It's literally what it was. Oh, by the way, fun fact, guys. while we're doing this right now, I have my computer uploading hundreds of megabits per second, like 400 or 500 megabits per second, or megabytes, bits. I don't know, one of the two. I'm backing up my computer onto unlimited Google Drive, and I have backed up so far 13 terabytes. Can you believe we can stream this smoothly and still be sending up 500 megs per second? Boom. 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 Oh, was my significant other happy with no Discord? It didn't really make any difference to her. She was actually here at home. So this was like a totally on my own, this is totally just like I needed total self, reflection, just solitude. Everyone needs a little bit of that. I went outside of LA. I was up in the mountains and stuff. It was great. Yeah, I can't help but brag about the internet here. It is fantastic. All right, everybody. Well, I'll see you around. Stay in touch. See you in Discord. Yeah, thank you guys. Thank you again. I hope you guys, if you're in the United States, happy Memorial Day weekend. It's a holiday weekend here for us, so I'll probably be a little bit busier this weekend than I normally would be, so I probably won't be working too much, but... Oh, it is as good as Google Fiber. We already have 10 gig here in Cedar Falls. It's not actually available yet in our houses, but they've ran it to a few of our co-working space and stuff. It has 10 gig. Boom. Boom, boom, boom. Eat that, Google. Cedar Falls, man. Cedar Falls is the way to go. All right. Well, everyone, have a great one. Have fun this weekend. Stay tuned. Stay in touch. Lots and lots coming out. Like a list of content that I'm excited to shoot. So, all right. I'm just going to end this one. Bye, guys. We'll see you. I'm going to do this for a long time. Bye. Bye.